distinction there, right?
Yeah, I usually go by Chuck, and everybody knows me, just about, except for certain family members as Chuck.
So this is the documentary about Cleveland actors in the region and everything. Mm-hmm. So you're the first one, so like if you mess up, everyone's going to skip over your thing anyway, right?
Oh, okay. Well, then I have no pressure.
Then you have no pressure on you, right?
Well, stress is gone then. No.
There you go, yeah. Okay, so how'd you get started in acting? And don't go back to like the 3rd grade when you were like a flower and stuff like that. But you can go ahead if that's the truth.
Well, I'll tell you what. I will say this. In 8th grade, I was forced to do a MASH play, and I played Major Burns. Wow. And I didn't want to be in it, but I guess I did pretty well because the English teacher took me aside afterwards and said, "Mr. French, I think you should seriously consider a career in acting." And I thought at that point, being 14 years old, that only sissies act, and my aspirations was to be a Major League Baseball player, which I did try out for the Cincinnati Reds at one time.
Oh, wow.
But at the time, I just blew her off, and now I wish I did not, because so many years went by before I figured out that I really do have a passion for acting, and I just love it, and I wish, you know, I could do it really full time.
So what rekindled your passion for it?
Well, actually, I tried a number of things. I was in a music career. I was in 7 rock bands over the years.
7?
7, yeah.
Wow, okay.
7. Actually had a #1 hit for 3 weeks on the
Billboard. Oh, wow. Hey.
At Gannon University's radio station in Erie, Pennsylvania. But it was a national billboard,
okay.
just so you know. But at any rate, the music career never panned out. I went into a sales career, which I still do. But at the time, about 7 years ago, it wasn't going very well. So I went to this movie. I took my little son, and we saw Spy Kids 2. And I looked at that movie and I was thinking, what in the world can I do to maybe change careers or do something different? Because I was sort of getting bored in life. And you know, I watched that movie and I thought to myself, oh, who's the, I can't believe I can't remember this. Who was the father of the Spy Kids?
Antonio Banderas.
Antonio Banderas, yes. Thank you very much. I watched Antonio Banderas and I thought to myself, my goodness, I can do that. And then I remembered what Mrs. Sherman said in 8th grade, so I decided right there, right in the middle of the movie, I'm going to try this. And about 2 weeks later, I auditioned out of the blue for a student film. I got a call back. I did not get the role, but I did get a call back, which encouraged me to go on. And I auditioned for another film after that, which I did get the role. Okay. And ever since that time, my passion and joy for acting has just grown.
So what was the role? How did you feel about doing something here as opposed to, like, you know, most people get like, I'm going to be an actor, California, but you decided to do it here?
Well, it's sort of been decided for me to do it here. I mean, I have a lot of roots here in Cleveland, and so I'm not at the stage of my life where I'm really ready to just pick up and uproot myself. Too many things are established. Now, if the right situation comes along, I will go out to LA. Plan on doing that from time to time. But one thing about Cleveland that's interesting is that there's so much going on in the entertainment industry that a lot of people don't realize, especially in filmmaking.
I got started, I went to college in Canton, Ohio actually. I went to Malone College and I studied theater. And then I had my very first audition with Trauma in New York. It's Lloyd Kaufman's company. And the audition was for a movie called Poltergeist. And he wanted me to get naked in the movie, and I didn't really feel comfortable doing that. So then he gave me another role that was actually a little bit bigger as the newscaster. And that was my first movie. And through connections that I met through Trauma and just going to film festivals and going to film school, I met a lot of people that, you know, were camera operators for TV or camera operators or producers for film. And I said, hey, you know, I'm an actress and I'll take anything. I'll do pretty much any role.
Okay. You mentioned Trauma. Do you primarily stick in the horror genre? It's the horror. You're in the festival today as the Grindhouse.
Right.
Yeah.
I enjoyed doing horror movies for a long time, but then about 5 years into my career, I wanted to be challenged again, and I wanted someone, anyone, an indie director or anything, to challenge me to cry or to laugh or anything besides screaming and running through the woods, getting chased, or carrying a chainsaw.
You're not an actor, are you?
No.
No.
Actually, I did some acting twice. That's about it.
Twice? Okay.
Yeah.
But I wanted to get a chance to talk to you because you're one of the more prolific directors around Cleveland.
Okay.
Do all that work. So tell us, what was your first experience in using Cleveland actors and making movies here?
My first experience was in 1998. We did an audition for Twisted and have about 300 people show up. That's 1998 kind of. We have a studio in downtown in East 12th Street. Actually, no, I'm sorry, East 21st Street. About 200 something people showed up, and unfortunately, we couldn't find the right character for the main role, which is going to be an Asian American person. And because of that, we had to go out on the street and look for people. And we just grabbed a student just who was going to CSU and grabbed him and say, "We need you to be in the movie," and we got him into the movie. We have Karen Cabe from the San Jose Ballet. She was auditioned and played the role of the mother. We have John Akagi, who used to be a CSU police officer, but now living in Hawaii, and he got involved. Gary Yano, a couple other more people, because it was a more in Asian American related type of movie, so it was harder to get audition. But we did have a lot of people show up, and we did have some very, very talented people and some really, really bad actors.
Okay. So what's the so you've been making movies in Cleveland ever since then.
Yeah.
So what's like the talent pool around here?
I say there is a lot of great actors. Through the years now, especially in 2006 when we did the feature of The Rapture, which got distributed, we got very lucky that we be able to pull very, very talented SAG and non-SAG actors to get involved, and they actually did a really wonderful job, and looks good on screen, and hopefully they'll actually advance their career.
Well, my first experience with the Cleveland Actor was actually being a Cleveland actor. So it's pretty interesting because there's a lot of things you don't necessarily see when you're an actor, and then when you become an agent, it's like from a completely different viewpoint. One of the things that the owner of the agency told me when I got hired as a talent agent was, no offense, but all actors are stupid. And that's not true, but now I kind of understand what he meant by that, in that, a lot of times people are, maybe they're not prepared the right way, or, they don't really have a good, healthy viewpoint of where they want to go in their career. There's a lot of talent in Cleveland for sure, but I've seen a lot of people that, probably need some help like marketing themselves and, really just need to get out there and do it more.
I was thinking about one of my favorite movies, The Incredible Shrinking Man. Grant Williams gets hit with this cloud. He keeps shrinking and shrinking, and he's almost shrinking down to nothing. But he says, to God, there is no absolute zero. I still exist. And that's kind of how it is being an actor in Cleveland, where there's hardly any film projects going on. If they're not paying, or sometimes most of the projects are out of time. You feel like you have to leave in order to make it here. But I still feel that, I still exist here, that you can still make it here. So to me, that's really how it is here. And I'm thinking that there's potential here. There's something here is going to come off. And I guess all I have to say is that I'm Alex P. Michaels. I'm a Cleveland actor. I still exist.